Those who are excited for his appearing, those who are fanatics about being with Jesus soon in the rapture. We all want these answers as to when the rapture's hopefully going to be. And I feel like it's almost like God saying, I'll give it to you, but you'll have to work for it. Like, he's not just going to straight up tell us, oh, it's this date. But he'll give us all these little hints and clues everywhere for us to slowly put everything together. And if you haven't been watching for the rapture and insulting us or whatever for believing different than you, you're probably going to not care or not believe this or whatever. I don't know. But this is just for those who are looking, who are excited. God's been talking to us. He'll talk to you if you ask him, because he says you receive not because you ask not, right? So I think that applies here, right? Probably. Why wouldn't it? So it's like, if you ask him for rapture dreams, if it's his will, he'll give it to you. And yeah, we've all been getting so many different pieces to the end times puzzle, because we're not supposed to have it all figured out, but God's allowed to give us little crumbs here and there. It's awesome. So I just want to encourage you guys that he's just going to be here any day now. Probably the 24th of November. No promises. And if it comes and goes, I'll do what I've done every time I said it may be that day. I just be like, well, thank you, God, for another day to tell people about Jesus. And as selfish as I want to be and be like, oh, but I wanted to go now. In God's perfect timing, because, people say don't set dates. God's kind of the original date setter when you think about it. God knew the exact date, the appointed time, before the earth began, right? So, and Jesus is God, so shouldn't he know? And even if he doesn't, why does that matter? Because if nothing else, God, the Father, does know. Right? Does that make sense? I'm just thinking about that now. Like, I'm thinking this through as I'm making this video, and I'm like, wait a minute. Why the heck are people so focused on Jesus not knowing the day or hour? It's God knows. Right? Am I missing something? What do you mean we can't know? Because Jesus doesn't know. Well, okay. Hold on. No. Hold on. This is so hard to think through. I get it. If Jesus doesn't know the day, you're saying that, like, well, if he can't even know, then we can't know. But let me tell you, if Jesus doesn't know the exact day, he knows the approximate time. He knows the season. Because the Bible said we would know the season. And we can see we're in the season, those who are looking. And if we know the season, Jesus, who sees everything, can see it infinitely times better than we can. So even if Jesus doesn't know the exact day, he might know the week. Seriously, he might know what week it'll happen, right? Maybe. I don't know. Like, okay, fair enough. Let's think about it this way. The Jews, because we're supposed to compare him not knowing, or, Jesus not knowing, to the Jews not knowing when their wedding would be. Well, I guess they probably didn't know when the week would be either. So, fair enough. But here's something interesting that, I've heard people say before that, obviously, if you didn't know, everyone shoves down our throats. They're like, stop with the rapture stuff. Stop trying to set dates. You don't know when. Could be 1,000 years from now. And they love to use this one verse. They say, nobody knows the day or hour. Love it. Drives me crazy. And I've been struggling to know what to do with that. Because it's like, okay, but we are allowed to know the season, right? So it's okay if we don't know the exact day or hour. But here's the thing. When you actually go to that verse in the Bible, And it's at least in 3 of the Gospels from what I just looked up. I don't think it was in John. At least it might be. I know it was in the other 3. But it has that section talking about not knowing the day or hour, right? You know, the whole section that starts with, let me tell you this, the parable of the fig tree, you know, all of that. And when it says that you don't know the day or hour, what is it actually referring to? Because everyone keeps telling us that it's about the rapture and that we can't know the day or hour of the rapture. But does it actually say it's about the rapture in that verse? I don't think so. Because when I went back, I just went and I checked it, and because there have been people that told, I've heard people argue that, like, oh no, it's not about the rapture, it's about when heaven and earth pass away that you won't know the day. And so I looked at it, and it's like, well, the verse above it, that is what it says. So I think if you actually look at it, if you actually read what it's saying, instead of just using that one verse out of context without actually looking at the Bible itself and reading the verses above and before it, or before and after it, if you actually do that, which kind of tells me that most people that use that verse as an excuse didn't actually study it, didn't actually read the whole chapter, they only knew that one verse. Because the verse above it literally does say, the day that heaven and earth will pass away, that no one knows the day or hour of that. At least that's what it looks like to me looking at that, which is kind of blowing my mind. And I don't, honestly, realistically, to be fair, I don't know what that says about me, that I didn't necessarily fully catch that until now. But yeah, I think that's just what it means. Now, the thing that I still struggle with is, well, won't you be able to figure out the day or hour once you know when the tribulation starts, those who will be here for it? Or are the only ones who understand this stuff the ones that will get raptured, so we still wouldn't know because we won't be here? Or is it like no one would know the day or hour the earth passes away in heaven until it gets really close to that and you can figure out mathematically when it would be? I don't know. All interesting things to think about. But all that to say that that verse about the day or hour may not actually be about the rapture. And that kind of blows everyone's theology that argues against us rapture watchers out of the water. Because that's what their whole argument is founded upon. It's just that we can't know the day or hour, so stop looking. But I don't think that verse even is about the rapture. It's about heaven and earth passing away, which I'm not trying to tell you when that's going to be. I mean, it'll be after the tribulation. Maybe it won't be the exact day after. I don't really know. There's only so much I can tell you. But the point is, maybe after all this madness, all this craziness, all these people getting upset about setting dates and all that, maybe, I don't know, but maybe it is actually possible for us to know the exact date. I don't know. All I know is that, well, everyone was looking at September 23rd, and if 2 moons, those 2 moon dreams really do mean 2 months, as in 2 months after the date everyone was looking at, then that would put the rapture at today or tomorrow, November 23rd and 24th. And, it's not the exact same day everywhere in the world, so it could still technically be both, even though it's at the same time, Forgot what I was going to say now. But Jesus is coming very soon, and I don't know. But yeah, I hope this blessed someone. Jesus is at the door. He's very close. However much time you think you have, it's probably less. Yeah, God bless. Peace.